What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be playing a deck called Suicide Squad. And then we are going to sack the zombie and the Llanowar. And this will get rid of the Spellbreaker. This will draw us 4 cards. Oh, and they just cleansing Nova the board instead. So we are going to get in some good damages, which is just as interesting as it sounds. We're basically going to be playing Abzan Sacrifice. We have things like Cruel Celebrant, Vindictive Vampire, and Poison Tip Archer in the deck, which really help us deal damage to our opponent whenever we sacrifice out our creatures. And of course, Priest is in the deck as well. Now, before we get too deep into this deck, I would like to go ahead and say that this deck was given to me or submitted to me by MacFar. I'm sure most of y'all who have been on the channel for a little bit should know of his name. I've showcased at least one other deck that he gave me the idea for, as well as he's always seems to be at least in the live stream. So shout out to him for giving me the idea. Now, I did tweak the deck that he sent me a little bit, so Mac, if you're watching, I made a few adjustments. But I'm sure he'll be fine with that. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop into the deck tech or the deck breakdown, and then we'll get right into the matches. So starting us off, we have 3 copies of Hunted Witness and 4 copies of Llanowar, filling up our 1 slots. Hunted Witness and Llanowar, both excellent creatures to sack out, as Llanowar loses value as the game goes on and you're able to cast more of your creatures. Sure, having the mana is still nice, but sacking it out and dealing, X amount of damage because of however many creatures you have down that deal, X amount of damage whenever a creature gets sacked. So, and then Hunted Witness, sacrifice it, you get another creature that you can either, again, sacrifice or, chum block with, gain you some life because it does have lifelink. So it's just an excellent all-around card. Moving us down, we do have 2 copies of Priest of Forgotten Gods, which obviously works wonders in this deck. We're going to tap her, sacrifice 2 other creatures, and then we're going to target our opponent. They're going to lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature. We're going to gain 2 mana and draw a card. So yeah, pretty crazy effect. Say you have this and a copy of Cruel Celebrant and a copy of Teysa, right? Whenever you tap and you sacrifice 2 creatures, say it's 2 Hunted Witnesses or whatever it may be, you're going to deal the 2 damage from the Hunted Witnesses, plus you're going to deal the 2 damage from the Cruel Celebrant, plus 2 more from having Teysa, so that's just 6 damage, plus you're going to draw a card, they're going to have to sacrifice a creature, and you're going to gain 2 mana. So it's the stackability of her ability onto all the other creatures' abilities is just really, really awesome. So moving us down, we have 3 copies of Saproling Migration to make sure we don't run out of sacrifice fodder. We have 4 copies of Cruel Celebrant, which is fantastic, and it is a War of the Spark card, so that's always fun. We have 3 copies of Ministrant of Obligation, as it does give us a great sack outlet, as well as 2 extra creatures after it's being sacrificed to, further sacrifice. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Midnight Reaper. Now, I've actually thought about going up to 3 on this, but since we have Priest, it feels I don't want to say fine, because obviously priests get removed, and they get removed quite often. The value of Priest of Forgotten Gods is very known. However, y'all know me, and if it comes to playing cards that I want to play in order to fully test out a deck's strategy, or at least the main point behind the strategy, then I'll sacrifice something like card draw in order to make that happen. So here we do only have 2 copies of Midnight Reaper. But if you're trying to make a more serious version of this deck, I would definitely go up to either 3. I wouldn't go any further above 3 because we do have Teysa, so Midnight Reaper Teysa can be a very deadly combo for you, as it can very easily kill yourself. So moving us down, we do have 3 copies of Mortify to get rid of either a creature or enchantment for 3 mana, and it comes out at instant speed, so that's kind of nice. 1 copy of Settle the Wreckage and 1 copy of Cleansing Nova to help us, wipe the board. And obviously, Cleansing Nova is going to be a lot better for us than it is for them, as at least we want our creatures to die, So, Settle, Cleansing, Vindictive Vampire. Whenever another creature you control dies, Vindictive is going to deal 1 damage, and you're going to gain 1 life. So it's kind of like a Cruel Celebrant, only it costs 2 extra mana, and it doesn't work on itself, if that makes sense. Cruel Celebrant, the text for the card makes sure to include Cruel Celebrant as being able to trigger its own ability. However, Vindictive does not, so when this card dies, unless you have another creature that has a similar effect out, you won't be dealing that damage. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Teysa Karlov, which has just been a fantastic card ever since she's dropped back in Ravnica Allegiance. So, whenever a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Furthermore, creature tokens you control have Vigilance and Lifelink. The second part won't be as important. I'm sure it can come in handy in fringe situations, but primarily we're obviously going to be focusing on that first part, as we're going to have a lot of things dying. So pretty much all of these creatures, like Cruel Celebrant and Midnight Reaper and Vindictive Vampire and Poison Tip Archer, basically all of their effects are going to proc twice, which is fantastic for us, right? It's going to kill the enemy twice as fast. Moving us down, we have 3 copies of Poison Tip Archer, which has Reach, Death Touch, and reads, whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Now, the interesting thing about this card, and why I think that you should be running more Poison Tip Archers than Vindictive, is because Vindictive is kind of a bad mix of Cruel Celebrant and Poison Tip. It has the baseline stats of Poison Tip and kind of the effect of Cruel Celebrant, but it has the cost of Poison Tip Archer, and it doesn't include itself like Cruel Celebrant, and it doesn't affect whenever your opponent's creatures die, whereas Poison Tip Archer does. It's just any creature in general, whenever it dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So works wonders, and especially works wonders whenever you have Cleansing Nova and you just board wipe the whole shebang in one go. Moving us down, we do have 2 copies of Liliana Dreadhorde General. For 6 mana, we can throw down this mythic Planeswalker, and the static effect reads, whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. Fantastic for us, right? Means with Priest of Forgotten Gods, we're going to be drawing, what, 3 just from Liliana, plus Priest abilities, if that makes sense. So that's pretty nice. And then furthermore, we get to create a black zombie creature token, which you can use it for sacrifice fodder. However, I found most of the time whenever I get up to 6 mana, Liliana is more in here to sacrifice out your opponent's creatures. I feel like the removal on Liliana is really, really good. So most of the time we'll be playing her down minusing 4, and then once the board is wiped, then we can start building up some zombies. So, and then obviously her sort of ultimate ability, the -9, is pretty much a game winner. As the big crucial point of it is destroying all of their lands. That's probably the biggest. I mean, sure, wiping all their creatures, nice. But then again, they can choose to keep like a Galta, in which case you might still be in trouble, right? However, taking them from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many lands they have, all the way down to 1, that's a huge reset. So, moving us down, we have 2 copies of March of the Multitudes, and this is to give us huge amounts of sacrifice fodder. Late game, it can give you some lifelink creature tokens that you can just sort of throw at your opponent and still proc your stuff with. So, excellent there. And then y'all know that my lands are what they are. So that's going to do it for the deck tech or the deck breakdown, and now we're going to hop right into our games. Alrighty, here we are in a game 1 with Bait Toads. Well, this is a very variable opening hand. We will keep it though. Hopefully we can draw out some more land. It's a very awesome hand, but if we don't draw any land, it's going to be a dud. We do have a lot of 2-drops though, so maybe we can get there somewhere along the way. Alrighty. Guess we're waiting on our opponent to decide if they want to keep their hand or not. I don't know if they go first. Maybe they go first and they are AFK. Anyways, while they are, we're gonna look at the cool, awesome Liliana card art, because I never really talked about it. I mean, I mentioned it in the video where we opened it, but I haven't really talked about it since. And I gotta say, I'm actually really, really loving it. I play Liliana a lot, so you know, perfectly fine by me. Also, there's a land, so ask and you shall receive. I think we are gonna start with an unkicked Saproling, because we don't care if either one of these two creatures dies here. However, if our opponent's a little trigger happy, they may go ahead and throw something down on them. It's debatable on what we should throw down here, but I think it's Priest. So I'm actually going to go ahead and swing all in. Okay, no instant procs there, so we will throw in Priest. And the reason being, Priest takes a turn basically to activate, right? Because she has to get over this like summoning sickness in order to tap and proc her effect. However, Cruel Celebrant, her effect applies as soon as she enters the battlefield. So, for instance, oh, that's awkward, right? I just saw the Golgari Guildgate and I was like, oh yeah, we have a source of green mana. Well, that's fine. We were planning on playing Cruel Celebrant before Teysa anyways. So, nonetheless, like I was saying here, we will play Cruel Celebrant, and what you can actually do, and we're not going to because we have Teysa in hand, so I'm going to wait and do it next turn, but then you can tap your Priest, and you'll go ahead and get the procs of Cruel Celebrant. Another reason why we're not going to do the whole Priest thing this turn is it actually wouldn't give us enough mana for Teysa, since I made that that little land blunder. The idea, though, there was to play Cruel Celebrant, then tap out Priest, then play Teysa, right? So, yeah, and we actually don't want to attack with Priest, just in case they draw into some form of removal. We want to be able to tap her and sacrifice whatever creatures that they're trying to remove. Although, honestly, they could just go for the Priest, in which case you can't sacrifice the Priest. No hod. Yes, fantastic. Even if they haste it here, we're just going to take the damage. If they don't, they take it up to 7/7. I'm not quite sure that was the best play on their part. Because Priest is just going to make them sack out a creature anyways. So let's go ahead and get down the Teysa, and we actually can afford the Llanowar too, so... Well, you know what, we should have waited on the Llanowar, because we're going to get some card draw out of the Priest. Okay, so we're actually not going to get to attack in with our Saprolings, because we're just going to end up sacrificing them with Priest, so let's just go ahead and do that. Because we attack in, we can't actually let it resolve, as one of them would die to the Ferox. So, thanks to Teysa being down, we're going to proc Cruel Celebrant 4 times, and then 2 damage for Priest, plus draw a card. Okay, so we drew out another Teysa, so it wouldn't have been relevant anyways, us playing the Llanowar, that is. And sure, we'll swing in for the 1 damage. Cruel Celebrant altogether there, dealing 5 damage, so certainly nothing to sneeze at. And we actually do have enough mana for Liliana, so that's nice. And they don't really have a board state, so... Well, they have a Cruel Spellbreaker, but we can sack that out. And they're still only playing 1 creature at a time. That's gotta make you wonder, right? Alright, so let's play Liliana. And actually what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create the zombie, and then we are going to sack the zombie and the Llanowar. And this will get rid of the Spellbreaker. This will draw us 4 cards. Because Teysa does also work with Liliana, so, you know, if you do manage to get it down, it is certainly an awesome combo. And they will sack out their Cruel Spellbreaker, and then we will swing in for the remainder. So what do we want to play here? I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, let's just finish this game off, right? Baked Toads going down. Game 1. Liliana, Teysa, Cruel Celebrant, Priest. Awesome combo. Just awesome. So, yeah. That was super fun. We're gonna go ahead and hop into a game 2 here. Clint Eastwood. Not Clint, but Clind. I don't know. No, nonetheless. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. It looks kind of spicy. Y'all know I enjoy spiciness. This is always an awkward situation, right? But I think we do want to go ahead and get down the Guildgate. Healer's Hawk. Oh no. And definitely a 100 Witness before a Cruel Celebrant, just in case they have any removal and they're just trigger happy with it. Let's hope they don't go for like enchanted flyers. Those are always really annoying, right? Tithe Taker. Okay. Well, we don't currently have any spells that we would be playing during their turn, so it's not the biggest loss in the world. We are going to go ahead and throw down the Temple Garden, as it means next turn we can get down Poison Tip, which kind of puts a stop to their Healer's Hawk. And then, of course, we can swing in with the 100 Witness. They probably could have attacked with Tithe Taker as well, unless they just wanted the ability there. Throwing down a Llanowar gets us to Cleansing Nova range, though I don't think we really need to be there quite yet. So, and again, we'll swing in with the 100 Witness. But now at least they can't swing back at us with their Healer's Hawk, right? They are just revitalizing their way to victory. They may have a combat trick here. Nope, maybe they just didn't realize my creature had reach. Yeah, there's the whoops. Okay, so this is actually going to be enough mana for Liliana, so that is fantastic. We'll go ahead and swing in with Poison Tip and 100 Witness. They're still at 23 health, so, you know, it doesn't seem like it, but considering the amount of times that they swung in with Healer's Hawk plus 2 Revitalizes, we are getting there. Oh, and they just Cleansing Nova the board instead, so we are going to get in some good damages. And we won't be able to get down to Liliana unless we draw out some... Oh no. I was going to say a land. Didn't happen. So I guess we'll just go ahead and march for 3 here. It'll at least give us some units and some life gain. Yeah, looking for... Oh, goodness. Okay, so got Eternal Oketra coming down for our opponent. And we did get the land. Question, do we Cleansing Nova? Do we Cleansing Nova the battlefield? I don't think so. Yeah, not yet. Not quite yet. What we can do, since we know we're probably going to be losing all of these units here anyways, so we can attack in with all of them but 1. We want to keep 1 back to defend against the Oketra. So Oketra kills 1. And then what? Do you trade with the Spirit? Please say yes. Oh, no, they don't. That's unfortunate for us. Alright, we'll end the turn there. Again, I want to wait on the Cleansing Nova until we have Liliana down. So they're probably going to throw down at least 1 or 2 creatures. Shala, okay. And Leonin. Ooh, that's rough for us. Okay, so we are going to have to Cleansing Nova before the Liliana anyways. Otherwise our Liliana will just die, right? So, and we don't want that happening. Actually cancel. Almost made a mistake there. Anytime you're going to be Cleansing Nova-ing, you want to go ahead and all attack in. At least get the value out, right? We have life linkers. Let's get the life link, and then destroy all creatures. Obviously, Oketra goes back into their deck, but it goes 3rd from the top, whereas our Liliana will be able to come down next turn. So hopefully, unless, of course, you didn't let me finish. Unless they have another Oketra in hand. So pretty much what we have to do here is actually make them sacrifice the Oketra.
Get out of my way.
Otherwise Liliana just dies because we don't have enough mana for Mortify there. So yeah, do they return They do. They return the second copy of Oketra as well. Okay, so we know at least that their next 2 draws are just going to be Oketra. Leonin War Leader. Well, we can mortify the Leonin, so there's that. However, we may want to mortify Oketra. No, I want to mortify the Leonin, actually, come to think of it. Yep, here comes Oketra. Ooh, Settle, that's nice. That does allow us to plus up the Liliana and make sure that she lives. So obviously they're going to swing in with Oketra and we'll settle, and then they'll play down their other Oketra. Actually, you know what? Let's not settle. Let's not settle just yet, because settle could come in handy, you know, on down the road. Their second copy of Oketra is just pretty much dead so long as it's just chilling there, right? Not dead, but you know what I mean. Teysa is excellent, and it still leaves up enough mana for settle, so it is what we're gonna do here. And we may only get to play 2 games today. These games are going a little bit slower, and I do have work. I actually have to work a double today, so may only end up playing 2. Nonetheless, we'll go ahead and create another zombie. And thankfully, because of Teysa, our zombies now have vigilance, so we can defend we can defend with a zombie and then also attack in with our other zombie that we chose not to defend with. The good news about mono white is we know that they don't have anything to give Oketra trample, so we can block Oketra all day, and deals with this card, deals with that card. All right, Clint Eastwood just gonna tap out there. But yeah, y'all can see the funness and the strength of this deck. And I feel like I should say this, although I feel like a lot of my decks go without saying this. But if you're new and you're looking for things to play, I need to give this warning that these decks that I build aren't super competitive. I'm not a super competitive person. Do I spend my wild cards on things that are fun over competitive? Yes, I do. But that does not mean that everyone else should. And just because I put up matches where I do win, y'all should also know that this is a recording, you know, so I can change out the matches however I may see fit. So obviously I'm going to try and put up the most fun matches that I record, so y'all can really see, you know, the objective that I'm going for with the deck. So please take all my decks with a grain of salt, and yeah. Nonetheless, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you're new here, please subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for the deck, please leave them down in the comment section below. That's going to do it. Peace.